Welcome to the Dray Way. I'm glad you're here. We're only 18 days away from the election. I'm sorry, I'm a little under the weather and I can't do it outside. If you notice, this is the inside edition of the Dray Way. It's just I have to admit, it's a little too cold and a little too windy to be outside today. But we are just 18 days away from the election. And oh my gosh, there's a lot to talk about. But if you haven't noticed, early voting has been explosive. And the early voting the numbers already, you can see that women and young people are really, really energized. And that is, if you're looking for a blue victory, that's what you want to hear. You want to hear that women are engaged and that the youth vote, which I think is going to be probably the highest it's ever been in our history. When I see lines and stuff, of early voting, I don't know if you noticed, but it's a lot of young people. And I mean a lot of young people. But North Carolina and Georgia, they're setting records for early voting. And the more people that vote, let me tell you something. As far as if you're a Democrat, the philosophy holds true. If we vote, we win. And that seems to be the theme right now. And what everybody keeps asking me, I bet you I get this comment 10 times a day. What about the blue wall? What about the blue wall? What about the blue wall? Because that is extremely important. And if you haven't noticed, over and over and over again, what has Harris been doing? Where has Harris been? She's been at Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania. Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania. Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania. And she throws in a few North Carolinas and Atlantas in there. But for the most part, she has been hitting again and again and again the blue wall. Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania. And her ground game in those three states has been nothing short of spectacular. And that's why you're seeing the voter turnout that you're seeing there, especially in Pennsylvania. I cannot tell you how important the ground game is there. And the fact that she has those three states, in my opinion, those three states aren't going to change. There is, in the next 18 days, there is absolutely nothing anyone can do to change those three states from going blue. Pennsylvania, with the strength of Philadelphia and Pittsburgh. Wisconsin, with the strength of Madison and Milwaukee. And Michigan, let's face it, Michigan's all about Detroit, Detroit, Detroit. Detroit is 3 times larger than any city there. And Detroit is not going to disappoint the Harris campaign. Detroit is showing up and showing out. And already we're starting to see the returns in Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. And it looks very, very good for Harris. But we are just 18 days out. So I want to know what you think. This blue wall is imperative. This blue wall is, and it's called the blue wall because those three states equal 270. Everybody wants to know why she's focused so hard in those three states. Because when she wins Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, she's at 270. She's there. Now, are North Carolina, Georgia, and Nevada and Arizona important? Of course they are. But if you know that getting those three states puts you at 270 and the election's over, that tells you exactly why she's going there again and again and again. And you're going to keep seeing that from now until 18 days from now. She will continue to be in Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania over and over and over again. Again, welcome to 18 days out. I'm glad you're here at the Dray Way. Let me know what you think in the comments. We have a lot more to talk about. So let's talk about it. Okay, let's talk about something I'm starting to get really, really excited about. I mean, I know we're 18 days out. I know. But what I'm starting to get really excited about is Ted Cruz is probably going to lose. yeah, I think he's going to lose. I think Allred is actually going to win his seat. And that is absolutely huge for Democrats. But I hear Ted Cruz whining because I think Ted Cruz knows the polls. He's going to lose Texas. And I like to just sit back and imagine it because a lot of people don't know it, but nobody likes Ted Cruz. Nobody in the Senate likes Ted Cruz whatsoever. So if we can replace Ted Cruz with a Democrat, yeah, that's a big step. I mean, obviously we would like to see, Texas go blue. But if Texas can't go blue and we get a blue senator out of Texas, that makes it all worth it. That makes it all worth it because it's really, really important that we keep the Senate and get the House. I already know we're going to get the House. The question is the Senate is going to be really close. And with Ted Cruz going down, that gives us a strong capability of keeping the Senate. And that would be huge. Can you imagine? Can you imagine a blue White House, a blue Senate, and a blue House? Yeah, that's about as good as it gets. It's not going to get much better than that. But now, some of you have also asked me about North Carolina and Georgia. And this is what I'm going to say about North Carolina and Georgia. This is what I'm going to tell you. North Carolina already, I mean, like I said, they just started yesterday. But when you look at the people standing in line, I looked at several videos of people standing in line. And I was really impressed on how many women and young people were standing in line. Because that seems to be where the energy is coming from. The energy is coming from women and people 18 to 29. And I think that is absolutely huge for Georgia and North Carolina. I want you all to think about this for a minute. Think about this. I don't know if I mentioned this to you last time. I may have mentioned it, but I want you to think about this. How many of the 7, I think I asked you guys this the other day, how many of the 7 swing states has Trump gotten 50% in? Last time he got none. None of the swing states went for Trump 50%. The one state that he did win, North Carolina, he got 49%, not 50. So if he wasn't able to get 50 in any of the swing states last time, what makes anyone think he's going to do it this time? With more young people voting against him and more women voting against him. See, I'm not a real big fan of these polls. I don't think the polls have been giving us all the information. I think the polls have been really disingenuous because I think so many of the polls are just Republican speaking points. It's just to make Republicans feel better because, oh my gosh, guys, I was watching Fox News yesterday and Fox News is telling people that watch the station, they're telling me, oh, Trump is way ahead. Trump is going to win this, no problem. Trump this, Trump that, Trump that. And I'm going, what are they talking about? What are they talking about? Because the reality is Donald Trump can't win any of the blue wall states. He's not going to win Michigan. He's not going to win Wisconsin or Pennsylvania. And that puts her at 270. His path to 270 without Pennsylvania is practically none. Yeah, it's practically none. So I don't know why Fox News is doing this. I don't know why Fox News puts it out. But I think it's all part of the plan to sit there and go, well, wait a minute, we were winning. How is it possible that we lost this? We were winning. No, only in your bubble were you winning. That's the only place you were winning. But again, let me know what you guys think. Let's move on. The last question I have for you is something I'm starting to think about 18 days out from the election. 18 days out. I got to admit, I'm starting to think, and I want to know if you're thinking about this. How do things go back to normal? And when I say go back to normal, I mean, we all know people that, are like, yes, I'm voting for Donald Trump. And you're like, You're doing what? I mean, you realize he's a racist, misogynist a-hole. I mean, he's an awful person, you know, and you're voting for him? Why would you vote for someone so terrible? And we all know people like that, all of us. We all know them, right? Don't we? And my question to you guys is a simple one. How do we just go back to normal? How do we just go back? Because I don't know about you, but I have friends and stuff that fully supported this man. And I just, it's like we almost have to have Trump forgiveness. Because he is going to lose. But, you know, I feel like we've lost some people in this whole facade, in this whole pretend world of Trump. I mean, everybody that's been around Donald Trump, they're toast. They're either arrested, in jail, bankrupt. I mean, anybody that's around this guy ends up getting absolutely pummeled. So I don't understand. I don't understand why anybody wants to be associated to him or his brand, which his brand is dog doo-doo, to put it. I mean, Trump Steaks failed. Trump Airline failed. Trump this failed. I mean, we can go down the list. Failure. And he's about to be a failure in the elections for what? Again? Yeah, he's going to lose again? Yeah. And what are we supposed to do? I want to hear from you guys. What are you going to do? I mean, in all sincerity, can you look at your neighbor the same way knowing that he was a Trump fan? I mean, do you look at family members the same way knowing that they were Trump fans? I mean, what do you do? How do you look at it? What do you say? I can't wait to hear, because I think, you know, after the election, of course, Republicans are going to be like, you know, Trump who? What are you talking about? Trump what? Yeah, they are going to move on from Trump so fast after he loses. After he loses, they are going to pretend like they don't know the man. They've never seen the man. They've never talked to the man. I mean, they are going to be in just complete and total denial, because right after the election, right after he loses, it's all going to be about Trump going to jail, Trump going to court, Trump going to... That's all it's going to be. And the Republican Party can now, I guess, wash itself off and become a new party? How is that going to work? And I have another question. I need someone to answer me this. What is a Republican? What's a Republican? What, you're Republican because you believe what? What is it that you believe? I don't want to hear smaller government or anything like that. That's pure nonsense. I don't want to hear about, you know, the economy does better under a Republican president. That's nonsense. That's not true. And we all know that's not true. So I need to know why is anybody a Republican today? For what? For what purpose? What is the belief that you have that means you're Republican today? I don't understand it. And I need someone to explain it to me. And if you know in the comments, if you're a Republican or a conservative, don't know what that is either. But if you are one, put it down in the comments and let me know what it means, because in this day and age, I have no idea. For the last 10 years, all I have seen is a bunch of people following a really bad man. That's all I've seen. But let me know what you guys think. Put it down in the comments. And thanks for joining me for the Dray Way. We are just 18 days out. We have more shows coming up. Tomorrow, another show, the Dray Way every day. We'll have another show tomorrow. Hopefully, we'll be outside. I want you to understand, it was just simply too cold and too windy. Believe it or not, right now in Vegas, it's 50 degrees with 35-mile-an-hour winds. Yeah, I'm not even joking. So if you wanted to know why we were inside today, It's because I was freezing and I couldn't do the show outside. But hopefully we'll have better weather tomorrow. But please stop by for the Dray Way tomorrow. Have an absolutely wonderful day, and we'll see you on the countdown. 17 days tomorrow. Just 17 days. Please like and subscribe the video, and don't forget to comment. I really want to read your comments on this one. I want to see what you guys think. I'll see you tomorrow on the Dray Way. Have a great day, everybody.